Hello. Today is not a bad day. It's a bit overcast, a bit nippy and a little windy, but I'm going to be digging this bed behind me here. Now it shouldn't be as big a problem as the last few beds were because it hasn't got any of those big bushes. I managed to take them out. But on coming today I found the cats have been at work. Let me just show you what they've done to the beds I've already dug. As you can see over here, they've been digging to hide little presents for me. And just as well, I haven't seeded anything. And I'm going to have to probably buy some sort of netting to cover all this holes that they've been doing here. Because all over the beds, there are footprints. So, and that goes right throughout the whole bed. So, I think the cat use this as a sort of traffic area. So that having been said about my dilemma with the cats and what they're going to do, I'm going to have to get something to protect it because I can't get rid of the cats, and they are useful sometimes. I don't personally own them, but certainly our neighbours have enough of them. And so anyway, I've got to start making plans to protect my beds, especially when I'm planting. Anyway, let me get cracking now on the bed behind me. Yeah, this soil is a lot easier here, and I just got to keep pulling out the weeds. I've got my weed container over here. You see, one of the issues I've had here is I'm getting a lot of this grass. It runs sort of horizontally just under the surface, and there's a load of it. And because of the nature of it, I think it's probably quite invasive because it seems to, run all over the place. Now I'm getting quite a lot of it. I wasn't having this before. I was having the really big weeds like this one that, they were breaking off. They were going straight down into the ground. But this grass seems to be creeping all over, so that's my next big problem. Now, I've already got this bucket now, it's full of weeds and stuff like this, and I've only done 2 square meters of this bed, and it's been slow going, but so it's going to be taking me a little while, this bed, a lot longer than I initially thought, because I'm really afraid of this grass because it grows everywhere. So I'm trying to get as much of it as I possibly can out, and so that I don't have a problem later on. But I don't know what type of grass it is, but the sort of nature of how it's growing seems to indicate to me that it's something I've got to get rid of because it's crawling all over the place. But anyway, just thought I'd update you on how the digging is going. I've been about an hour on this already, on this bed, and luckily it's a relatively nice day. It's a little nippy and stuff like that, but it's pretty easy work. Okay, let me crack on. I tell you what, it's tough going with the grass. The grass problem has just got a lot worse. And I'm pulling out tentacles all over the place. I think they must be like the MI6 or the CIA of the vegetable or garden world, because they got these long tentacles that sort of sneak out everywhere. But it's quite nice sort of flushing them out and getting rid of them. But I'm probably about halfway through the bed now. And there is really a lot of grass, as you can see, I'm pulling out here. So I think it's time for a nice cup of coffee, and then I can get back out here and carry on and finish this bed, hopefully today, because it is very time consuming taking out grass because it seems to have grown quite thickly here. but and it has to come out. Anyway, let me empty this and then a cup of coffee. But you know, I really love the garden, and it's such an interesting place. You know, I'm not surprised that people like Beatrice Potter and a whole lot of other authors have taken inspiration from the garden and from nature outside. You know, a lot of sci-fi movies today get their inspiration from nature. All the weird and wonderful creatures that we see all come from our planet Earth. They get their inspiration from there, and their behaviors and stuff like this also come from nature. So the movies is a great lover of nature, and that's what I like about the garden. I can see it all happening in the garden, and it tells wonderful stories. I really do like the gardening, but more than that, I like my cup of coffee occasionally during the day. Especially when it's nippy outside like that, and you know, your hands get cold, and when you have a nice cup of tea or a cup of coffee, I alternate between cup of coffee and tea because I love both. It warms you up and makes you feel good and frees your imagination when you're out there, you're working, and you can think of all the wonderful things that nature has to offer you. Anyway, enough of that. Let me get outside again and see what I can do there. Well, that's me. I'm finished my cup of coffee and I'm feeling a lot better now. I'm getting ready to work and finish off that bed. And the green bin over here for the rubbish is absolutely full now, so all the more weeds that I pull, I have to keep in these little blue containers. I just hope I've got enough of them. And I've got another, 1, 2, 3 meters to do, and then I'll be finished. So, let me get cracking. Weeds and weeds and more weeds, grass, plenty of that now. Well, the time has come for me to end today. I'm just finishing off these beds, and I've got 2 of these blue containers more of weeds, and that'll be these beds in the vegetable patch area. So I'm quite grateful for that, and next week I can start looking at planting out and obviously raking out these beds and making them ready to receive plants. But it's been a long job getting over this. There's been a lot of weeds. I'm not unhappy with this. I think it's great to have wheat because they've kept the ground that I'm inheriting very fertile. It's full of life, not only worms, it's full of all sorts of life. In fact, it almost feels like I've inherited a whole kingdom of life that I've got to take care of. And that's quite cool. I'm going to have to start naming all these little different creatures and assigning them roles that they do in the garden, because it's really quite nice. I'm really having a lot of fun in this garden. And I think I've inherited some really good soil at the back here. I don't know about the front, but we'll have to see. But this has been really, really good, and I'm thoroughly enjoying this, and I'm happy with the progress so far. It's been going rather slow, but that's okay. Rome wasn't built in a day, although I'd like my garden to be, but that's not the way it works. And I've really got to know the earth a lot more, better in a very sort of intimate sort of detail as this, where you know what's inside it. An abundance of life. As I say, not only the worms, but all sorts of little creatures running around. Now, I don't know what their names are, I don't know what their roles are, but we'll figure this out. And I'm sure it's not going to take too long, but this is an exciting garden. And, but now, I have to end early today, it being a Friday, because this is when I go and do my shopping. And the best part of the shopping is I go to a local farmer, and he gives me, or sells me, this unpasteurized milk. Oh, and it is such healthy stuff, this. And it's, of course, it's all full cream and stuff like that. And it's healthy because during the pasteurization process, everything gets burnt off. All the nutrients. And that get killed. You know, the good bacteria. Now, in the UK here, you're only allowed to sell pasteurized dairy if you have grass-fed cows, then no pesticides and stuff like that put onto the onto the grass or any of the feed, and it's very closely monitored, which is a very, very good thing indeed, because if it's not, it opens itself up to a whole lot of random diseases that you can get from all the other rubbish that they feed cows to get milk. Now, cattle, I think a cow will produce about 2,000 litres a year of milk, but one on growth hormones and stuff like that will produce 50,000. And it's all this growth hormones and that are really, really bad for you, and they make the cow sick, and they have cysts in their stomach and stuff like that, or in their udders. And so all the diseases have to get pasteurized and burnt off. And this is why unpasteurized milk is carefully monitored, that the farmers obey this, and of course mine does. And but it makes the milk so much more healthy. Anyway, that's my garden done, or my bed, and I'm going to thank you for being with me and listening to everything I've had to say. And now I've got to pack up and sort out everything and wash my tools and boots and everything else and go and do my shopping. Yes! Please subscribe!